Yo, what is going on, everybody? I hope you're having a fantastic day. Tell me all about it. It is good to see y'all was popping. With the new Spider-Man movie coming out tomorrow, which is Spider-Man No Way Home, I decided to watch every single up-to-date Spider-Man movie and rate them on a tier list. I have ratings on a scale of 1 to 10 and tier lists in order. Check it out. If you want information on Spider-Man, here it is. And heads up, spoiler alert. We do talk about everything about these Spider-Man movies. So if you don't want to have them spoiled or you haven't seen them, do not watch this video. Click off, watch them, and come back. But yeah, guys, here's my tier ranking list for all of the Spider-Man movies. Check it out. It's time for my final tier rankings for the Spider-Man movies. All right. Well, let's get straight into it. So, after watching every single movie today, we're going to rank these. So, I'm going to start with Spider-Man 1. Spider-Man 1, I rated it as a 9.1. Nostalgia is probably a factor. It really is an incredible movie, though. It has a lot of moments that define Spider-Man. I think one thing that's really important in these Spider-Man movies is like having those moments that define what Spider-Man is. And that's like the times where it's like all odds are stacked against him and he pulls through. And although not quite as intense ones in that as some of the other movies, it's like that laid the ground for this and all of this. And I feel like it's a really, I love that movie. And so I'm going to put it at A tier for now. Spider-Man 2. Okay, so I think objectively, this is probably a little bit better movie. Because it has such an iconic scene. I rated an 8.9 right behind Spider-Man 1. But there's also like so much time in that movie that feels dead. Right? Like I know it's important, but it's not like fun to watch. There's like really when he's not Spider-Man, to me it's just not that entertaining. Like, it's not a super fun watch when he's not Spider-Man. And so that's why I always put Spider-Man 1 ahead of it. But that's really tough. I'm going to put them both A tier for now. I'm going to refigure that out in a minute. Spider-Man 3, I actually really like this movie. It's widely really not liked. I have it as a 7.9 on my list. So it's about a full point on a scale of 1 to 10 lower than Spider-Man 2. I'm going to put it as C for now. It could move once we get all these placed. That's where I'm going to have it for now. I have this movie, Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 1. I actually think is a incredible movie. I think that this movie easily could be a low A tier. For now, we'll put it in the high B tier. I mean, the relationship between Gwen Stacy and Peter is incredible. I feel like they did a bad job of kind of capturing what Peter's supposed to be. But I think that this movie is way overlooked because of how terrible number 2 is. But this movie, the CGI is incredible. The way everything looks. His suit is my favorite suit, 100% as well. I think it's really good. I don't know. I think it's actually closer to Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 1 than people want to give it credit for. But for now, I'm going to have it B. I could move it up. I'm not sure yet. Spider-Man 2 is a D movie. It's got a pretty good plot line throughout. But end of the day, if they would have ended it differently, then we have a good situation. But because the way it ended, I'm not a fan of how some of the aesthetics look as well. Like Norman, the way he looks, and Harry I don't like how they made him look so gross and like kind of, I don't know. Also, I'm not a fan of the way that they treated Max early in the movie. I just don't like that stuff. I know that they're like justifying the way he became, but I'm just not a fan of it. That movie's really low for me. Probably going to be the lowest rated. I don't think anything's an F. But that's my lowest rating. And I rate it as a 7.1. Yeah, 7.1. Just not a huge fan, personally. Now we have Spider-Man Homecoming. So this is kind of an interesting one, because I think this is like an important movie. But I don't love it. I think it's probably like... I do think that The Amazing Spider-Man 1 is a little bit better. I think this is a more important movie. But I'm going to put it as a low B tier. I do think it's probably a little bit better than Spider-Man 3, although I really enjoyed Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3 just has so much cringe in it that it's painful. And so I'm going to put it ahead of Spider-Man 3 as a low B tier. And yeah, Into the Spider-Verse. has the potential to probably be the best movie in the series. But because of the fact that it's animated, I can't put it as the best movie in the series. I think that it's probably a low A tier for me. I think it's a good movie. I don't love it. I think objectively it's incredible. I think the storyline, the way they go about things is just so good. It opens the door for such an amazing series as well. The thing is, it's animated, so it pulls back for me. I'm going to put it as a low A tier. Yeah, and I feel pretty good about that. I think it's probably in a pretty good spot in between those. Yeah, it just opens up so much possibility. That could end up being one of the most important Spider-Man movies that we ever see. And I'm going to go ahead and put Far From Home in S tier. I think that the fighting scenes are incredible. The storyline's great. I know a lot of people don't like that he's fighting robots at the end, but I think that honestly makes for a really cool fighting mechanic. And then for the timing that they create when he does end up getting through the using his Peter Tingle in the hallway and then punching Mysterio in the face to shut down all the bots to save his friend. I just think it's all so good. There's multiple great fighting scenes. The movie is so well done. I rate it as a 9.4, which is easily my highest rating. Hopefully going to be broken when I see No Way Home. But that movie's incredible. I love it. I think that they could... I don't love the direction that Flash is. I don't love the way that they play Flash at all in the Tom Holland movies, which hurts it a little bit. Outside that, I don't know how much else I'm changing. I love the movie. I think it's awesome. I think the relationship with Zendaya is different, and it's kind of fun. It's not like smooth. It's like they feel like young high schoolers. Like it's what they're supposed to feel like. And so I really like the way they captured that in the Tom Holland movies, especially in Far From Home. I think it's an incredible movie. I think I feel pretty good about this. So I have S tier at number 1, Spider-Man Far From Home. My number 2 ranked movie is Spider-Man 1, Laying the Grounds, and the whole movie's so good. The only reason I had Spider-Man 2 is because the whole movie's so good. Those are interchangeable, but then I have Spider-Man 2 right after that. Spider-Man 2 is, I think the most iconic scene in Spider-Man is when he stops the train. I think that's absolutely amazing. It's fantastic. So I think that movie, across the board, it's really good. A lot of people will have this as their number 1, but it's not for me. I think that's kind of where it falls. These top 3 are probably interchangeable for the most part. They're awesome. And maybe even Into the Spider-Verse. A lot of people really like Into the Spider-Verse. I think that's widely considered the number 1, actually, objectively. I can't put an animated movie above some of those, no matter how good it is. But then Into the Spider-Verse, a great movie. Easy watch. You can just sit down and plow through it like it's nothing. And it's exciting, it's fun, it's funny. It's scored amazingly, which is like the soundtrack, unbelievable. Then I have The Amazing Spider-Man, which is Andrew Garfield, and his banter's amazing. That story is honestly awesome. I think that story easily could move up if the sequel wasn't so bad. If the sequel was better, and I know it wasn't supposed to be a sequel, it was supposed to be 3 parts, but director canceled or whatever happened. If the second movie was better and they just scrapped the comic book thing where Gwen dies, then this easily could be A tier. Like, easily could be A tier. And it could do really... I think that this is a really good movie. Again, I don't love the aesthetics when you're coming down to the doctor who turns into the alligator. I don't love the aesthetics there. I think that they're honestly kind of gross. But I do think that the suit looks awesome. A lot of the aesthetics in that movie are great. It's just that... just being nitpicky. Because these are all great movies anyway. Homecoming laid the groundworks. Really important movie. I do think it can be kind of boring, but I think there are some really good parts to it. Villain is underwhelming, but the rest of the movie's pretty good. It's funny. It's lighthearted. It really kind of introduces Tom Holland in a great way. I think it's a really good movie overall, but it's going to be my low B tier. Then we're going to have Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3 has one of the best fighting scenes ever. I'm not hearing it. And his time as the Dark Spider-Man is awesome. I think it's really cool, actually. I think Venom's a great villain. Sandman's a great villain. Kind of the relationship development with him and Harry throughout it is really good. There's drama. The problem is when the cringe hit, it was so bad, it hurts it quite a bit. And so I think that that's why it's going to be a C tier. Personally, I like the movie. A lot of people don't. But I think that's a pretty safe spot for it. And Spider-Man 2, once again, this movie could have been really good if it would have ended better. they had a couple opportunities to end it, and they didn't take advantage of those opportunities. If they would have, this could have been a great movie as well. But there's some spots where the movie looks incredible. There's a couple scenes that's just like so aesthetically pleasing. The CGI is incredible, and then there's times where it's so bad, and then the ending is terrible. So this one's gonna be the bomb. Like I said, every one of these are awesome movies. I would watch all of them 1,000 times, but that's gonna be at my bottom, and that's my Spider-Man tier list. Hopefully, there's gonna be another S, maybe an S plus movie coming out tomorrow, which is No Way Home. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoy this tier list. If you enjoyed that, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help out the channel more than you guys know. You have no idea. It would mean the world. I appreciate y'all, and have a wonderful day. And as always, eat your veggies, say your prayers, y'all. We will catch you next time. Peace out, you freaking legends. I appreciate y'all. Catch you later. Peace.